Advanced Principles Podcast, or app, was created to be an outlet for like-minded individuals to share in the broader conversations on leadership, retail market updates, and incredible personal success stories. On app, you will hear a collection of stories from the titans of the retail industry, as well as thought and practice leaders covering the spectrum of the economy. Please click the subscribe button and look for the newest episodes to be released.
Was a huge learning experience.
It can become very old very quickly and you can get tuned out.
And so consistency is key.
5 questions, you have no idea where they're coming from. Kellen Pagel is a certified fitness professional, fitness nutrition specialist, husband, and father living in Cleveland, Ohio. Along with his wife Tessa, they own the Orange Theory Fitness Studio in Strongsville, Ohio, and Surefire Wellness, a nutrition and supplement company. Kellen's mission is to create a healthier, happier world from the inside out and envisions a world where we all exercise regularly, eat healthy, live longer, and treat others better than we want to be treated. As a former 2-sport Division I athlete, Kellen spends his time managing his businesses, working out, being outside, reading self-help books, and looks forward to traveling more in the near future. Talk a little bit about Orange Theory because it just has exploded on the scene over the last 7-8 years. Certainly my family's now been involved in it, coming on 6 years, going back to our days in Colorado. Been fascinated by the model, the franchise, the structure, the buy-in, kind of the legion of followers, if you will, that are out there. But so many fads have come and gone. There's been different workout routines. There's been jazzercise and this and that and everything else that has come and gone over the years. What gives Orange Theory staying power, and where do you see it going from here? And maybe for some people that aren't as familiar, you could give a brief overview of really what is the basis of Orange Theory that makes it different than so many other fads that have come and gone over the years.
Yeah, that's a great question. And one of the things about Orange Theory that they do best is that it's 100% scalable. And so what I mean by that is you can have somebody who was essentially a professional athlete working out right next to somebody who's never worked out a day in their life. And they could be doing the same workout at different intensity levels and both benefiting equally from that workout. And I think that's one thing that has helped Orange Theory from the beginning, and that will continue to help Orange Theory moving forward as well, is that it's 100% scalable for anybody and everybody. So it's heart rate based, scientifically proven with those results to get you the results you're looking for. So based and designed off of heart rates. So the workouts are designed. There's even cardiologists on their design team and everything else, exercise physiologists that create these workouts to target different heart rates and elicit different responses throughout your workout to, again, produce those results. And then the last thing I think that will really help Orange Theory is just that camaraderie that we talked about, going back to sports. It's something that you look at college football programs, baseball, basketball, you see professional stadiums, they're almost always getting bigger, right? They're growing. Some of these stadiums now hold over 100,000 people. And really it's all about the energy and the camaraderie. If you get people together that are cheering and rooting for a same common goal, really is what it is. And that's kind of what it's like with Orange Theory. You get people there that are like-minded individuals that have similar goals to what the person next to them might have, and you can just feel the energy together. So I think those are all reasons that Orange Theory will continue to stay and be one of the best fitness aspects, one of the best fitness workouts that you can do. So, it's just a great environment. It's uplifting. You get to communicate and you get to socialize with like-minded individuals. You get to encourage and challenge each other. You have, coaches to do the same thing, the staffing there. It's always a very positive, uplifting type of environment. There's always new benchmarks and different things to even hold yourself accountable to constantly try and increase, your performance, speed or strength or lean body mass, different things like that. So, there's so many different benefits to what Orange Theory has to offer that they've done a great job really from the beginning.
Yeah. And with some of that internal competitive nature that so many people have, there might be an occasional glance at somebody else's tread to see how
Yeah,
fast they're going, how
that's
many meters they've done on the row, or what weights they're picking up off the rack. There might be a little bit of that going
yeah.
on as well.
Oh yes.
And I think you spoke to a big part of it as well, all the technology, all the heart rate based. I think the variety of workouts is something that really burns a lot of people out. We talked about it in youth athletics about getting burned out, but you can get burned out in just working out. If you're working the same 3 sets of 10 reps on a flat bench with dumbbells and plates, it can become very old very quickly, and you can get tuned out. And there's so many amateurs out there that watch a YouTube video and think they know how to keep themselves fit. But what you all provide is professional coaching, each and every single class, and not just coaching, but also motivation. And I think that that's been a huge aspect of it from the success rate that I've seen is a lot of people that are maybe new into the fitness routine or world or that they don't know where to go. They don't know how to kind of accomplish their own personal goals, and there's you and all the other great coaches that are out there encouraging them, motivating them, inspiring them to continue to do more. So I think that that's a huge component of it as well that I don't see going away anytime soon.
Yeah, no, that's a great point too. Is you can watch a video and feel like and think you're performing the exercise the way that it looks, but it's being able to kind of put that mind muscle connection together and having a coach who's actually physically there to say, actually we want to bring those hips in here, shoulders down, chest lifted, and this is how you should feel this exercise, and to actually be able to coach you specifically versus just watching a video is something that whether you're brand new starting off or you're seasoned in lifting and you're trying to increase your weights. It's very important,
Hmm.
risk of injury, maximize your intensities, your output to produce the best results. So those, you're exactly right with that.
Yeah, yeah, that's fantastic. So, the basis of Orange Theory is that in gym workout with the coach right there and the treads running next to you and everyone kind of fueling off of each other, like you said. And then all of a sudden the pandemic hits. And state by state, they close down gyms. They don't allow you to operate your business. They don't allow people to, seek that athletic or fitness outlet. So what was that like? Staying engaged with your membership, which I know membership is a huge component of the success of the franchises, but also from your outlet and your social connection and your desire to motivate and help people achieve more. Talk us through kind of that decision process from shutdown to reopening, staggered reopening, and then full reopening.
So that was something that obviously nobody really expected, and something that looking back on was a huge learning experience. And one of the main reasons why is we have no reference point. We can't look back and say, well, when this happened, this is what we did. We had no idea, right? So it was a complete shutdown. We were closed for about 75 days. That was a little nerve wracking, when you were able to develop a system in place, you have a good environment, and things are kind of clicking on all cylinders, and to be completely shut down, it's an opportunity that, looking back, we really appreciate the fact that as a business owner that we were able to always kind of operate below our means. And I think that one of those moments where if you tend to overextend yourself, that could have really, really been a trouble situation to be in. So, very grateful looking back that we, like we said, we were able to kind of live below our means and keep things in place where they needed to be. So that way we were able to financially make it through just okay. And then after about 75 days, we got the word that we were able to open back up at a reduced capacity. Even still, not sure what's gonna happen. Right? There's tons of people that still are not quite comfortable coming out, still staying at home. Throughout this whole process, we're trying to create videos and do workouts online and trying to keep that engagement, with social medias and different things like that. That it was a challenging time to say the least, and I think that it shows too just how important working out is, not from a physical but also a mental, emotional type of standpoint. So people that were not able to go work out at our facility were reaching out to us nonstop. When are we going to be able to come back in? I'm losing my mind, all these things. I'm tired of running outside, all these things.
Yep.
And it's just, it's one of those things that, it's so important to be physically active. Well, maybe you're not doing high intensity workouts, or maybe you're not powerlifting, or but you're just getting out and you're moving on a daily basis, 20, 30 minutes every day does so much for your mental state, emotional, physical body as well. So that was nice to finally be able to open back up, reduce capacity, trying to figure things out as we roll. This is the first time anybody's ever done it before,
Mhm.
across the world from my knowledge. So we couldn't just call somebody and say, "Hey, what do we do with this?" So it's just kind of like, "Oh, all right, well, let's figure it out as we roll." All the members were amazing, from the very beginning. They were very understanding of situations, willing and able to adapt to different rules and policies that we had in place. Orange Theory is one of those small fitness boutiques that are already very hands-on. In between classes, we're already cleaning and different things like that anyways. So to be able to implement a little bit extra of cleaning procedures and things was not a big deal for us, thankfully. So then we were kind of able to just roll right into it. About, I think it was 10 months later or so, we got the word that we were able to kind of start opening up full capacity again. Again, it was navigate as we go, right? Jump and then figure out how to fly type of thing. Um, Going into full capacity was something we kind of eased our way back into. Some classes were still, reduced capacity, spread out, every other stations and different things like that. And so trying to still get back into the swing of things is something that we're kind of taking day by day. But again, very, very appreciative that we were able to make it through. We do have a large loyal membership base, which we are more than excited to see everybody start to coming back and again receive all those benefits that we talked about.
Yeah, yeah. So during that pandemic, and especially in that first 75 days when people were really craving that outlet, obviously, you heard news on Peloton, Lululemon buys Mirror. You got Tonal all over the place now. Where do you see that fitting? And obviously, the health and fitness is a huge market, and there's tons of wallet spend out there to go after. Do you think some of that is a temporary migration to that at-home workout, and then those people will eventually come back to group classes, or do you think there's some that will just permanently stay at home and go, alone on the Peloton or whatever else it might be?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think it may be a combination of both. And I think what people realized is just like when you look at businesses, they realized maybe we are spending too much time commuting into the office, where some people may be just as effective at home, right? With businesses. But I think with working out, most important thing is whatever you will do is the most important workout, whatever that is. And so consistency is key. So if somebody is able to day in and day out have that discipline to get dressed, go into their basement or the bedroom and get a good workout in day after day, month after month, and there may be a small few who continue to do that long term, but I would highly imagine that some might do a combination of both. If they already have the equipment, they may spend a couple days, at home, if they have kids or if they're working at home, different things like that, and get a workout in. But I do believe that there is something, like we said, to talked about physical presence, being in the studio with each other, the music, the lights, the coaching, the motivation, the competition, the personal touches, personal corrections as well. It's just like, you look back in history, you see the disc players, you see the cassettes, you see CDs, right? But there's still always concerts. And there's something about being in that environment, coming together and just, feeling that music and feeling that experience. I think that with working out is that it will actually help improve overall performance being in those physical environments. So I think
Hmm.
it may be a combination of both, where some people are still able to get a couple workouts in at home effectively, but we believe in being in a physical environment will help kind of push you a little bit more than you may be able to push on your own.
Yep, yep. I couldn't agree more. I think your analogy to the concerts, when there's all those other mediums and outlets to enjoy music, the concert is because it's an event. It's a cultural get together, and you're sharing in that moment with so many other people. And I think that that's a fantastic analogy. So physical activity is one part of it, and so many people put so much weight into that. But I think what you spoke of earlier is the supplements and the health and the well-being and the nutrition is the other aspect of it. And I know that you and Tessa are both very passionate about that as well. So speak to us a little bit about the business and the supplement line that you've created and where that ranks at level of importance and when people should be making the decisions to look into supplements and their overall nutritional plan.
Yeah. And one of the best quotes I've ever heard was that you can't outrun a bad diet. So meaning that no
Mm,
matter how hard you work, you will see great results. But there comes to a point where to kind of take it to that next level, you really have to address what you're putting into your body. And we talk about all the time that food is meant to be fuel, right? And that we eat for purpose, not pleasure, different things like that. And the reason why is because what you put into your body is what you're going to get out. And not just physically, but also it's going to help you with overall clarity when you're focusing on work or you're making large decisions. Being able to have mental clarity is something that's going to help benefit you in so many different ways, especially long term. So that's something that we are very passionate about, in overall fitness and wellness realm. It's a very big part of it. So being able to have the right nutrition, like I said, putting the right things into your body is going to help improve your workouts, and help even improve your relationships and things like that. So that the supplement line is something that we figured that we may be able to help more people improve in that area who may otherwise not be able to. And life nowadays is faster than ever. Everything
mhm.
is like instant gratification, right? You click a button, boom, it shows up the next day you bought it, right? So everything's fast. So food, right? You're on the go. You want to get something quick. You drive through and you eat because it's fast and you're on the go and you have no time. So we figured if we could create a supplement that somebody's able to just kind of throw in a cup, add some water and drink it while they're going to their next appointment, getting some extra benefits, some extra nutrition, that it may help. But again, the real cause is, or real root down to things is what you're actually eating. Natural, whole foods, staying away from kind of processed foods and artificial ingredients are very, very important. We talked about a little bit with the anti-aging things and, staying as natural as possible. I've heard that say that you want to stay away from anything that comes in a package. So if you can shop local with farms and different things like that, that's something that will help your longevity and help really just improve your overall being. Um, Different things also will mess with inflammation, which can help lead to other chronic diseases and different things. And just we are, very passionate about this industry as well, but the things that we continue to research and try to learn on a regular basis as well. So it's something that we may continue to do as well. Tess is a certified holistic health coach, and we're fitness nutrition specialists, so we do have a little bit of experience and knowledge in the fields, but we look to continue to advance as well.
Yeah. So with Atkinson's and Slim Fast and Hydroxycut and the South Beach diet, all of those have come and gone, come and gone, come and gone. And what's one or two really practical things that you can recommend for people to just get started eating better or drinking better, right? There's a lot of intake from a liquid standpoint, from a soda, cornstarch, and all the different sugars. What are a couple different things that are just real easy that people can start to adopt into their daily routine that'll make somewhat of an impact? Not instant gratification, but just over the longevity of discipline to it that will make that difference.
Yeah, and real quick, here's my disclaimer: I'm not a registered dietitian or anything like that. But now, one of the most important things I think you can start doing right away is drinking more water. And I think that water is something that is very commonly overlooked. It's super important to your body and help flush out systems, keep you hydrated as well. But also is leaning more towards water versus other sugary drinks. And I know sometimes water can seem very bland and very boring to drink. But they do make different things that you can add into it, different packets, things that you want to make sure that what you're putting into is natural ingredients as well. You want to avoid artificial things like sucralose, aspartame. If you are going to add anything, they make very healthy hydrogen type of packets that you can pour into your drink that's flavored. A little bit more natural flavors like monk fruit and stevia, which are roots or plants. So that will help you a little bit more in terms of what you're consuming with liquids. And then with food, like we talked about, eating it as natural as possible. Things that don't come in packages, are really the best that you can do. And I think starting with one area, so maybe it's you start with dinner, right? Instead of dinner, you have your meal, then you have your bag of chips afterwards. Maybe you can substitute that one side for a vegetable or different things. Is make a small implementation from day one, and then maintain that. And then maybe it's the next week you change something else out. So keeping it as whole as possible, no artificial, nothing that comes pre-made. If you can avoid, those tend to have high sodium content as well. So things that you're actually making yourself will be a little bit better. There are some healthier restaurants out there and have healthier options too. So that things that you kind of do research on, one of the best things I think anybody can do is plan. So in life in general, if you
Hmm.
don't have any type of plan at all, you're almost destined to fail, right? Failing to plan is like planning to fail, as they
Yep.
say. So
Yep.
that's why meal planning, I think, is a great thing if that's something you're able to do. Maybe it's not physically making the meals in advance, but maybe you just actually plan out what you're going to eat when, and then maybe you can pack, a bag of carrots, throw it in your bag. That way, when you're hungry, you don't go to the vending machine and buy a bag of chips, but you have that bag of carrots already there. So you're just kind of chomping on whatever you have. I think planning things out is super important. The last thing I would say would be kind of beneficial to somebody who's just kind of getting started is to create a food log. So write down everything that you eat for a week, or maybe it's 3 days. And that will do a couple of things. That will help you realize that I'm snacking on more things than I probably need to, kind of mindless eating. The other thing is it may have yourself doubt whether or not you really want to eat it, because you got to write it down. So those are a couple of things that if somebody
Yep.
comes to me and asks about it, those are a couple of things that we usually talk about firsthand. So
Yeah, really good accountability measures. Really good.
yeah,
So a lot of our audience, core of our business is in the retail automotive industry. And the majority of the associates that work within the stores are working 10, 12 hours a day. They don't know exactly when they're able to carve out for lunch or even get home for dinner, because they're with the flow of the retail customer. And who knows? And you're not going to bypass an opportunity and say, hey, I'll be back with you in a minute. I got to go, get a burrito or something like that. And the another segment of our audience travels a lot. They're on and off planes, they're in and out of hotel rooms, they're arriving late, leaving early. What are a couple of suggestions maybe for those individuals and those types of professions that have it? I think I know a couple will kind of transfer over from the last answer, but specifically to those individuals who are living those professional lifestyles.
one of the biggest things I can say again is to plan. If you expect there's a chance that you may be at your desk for long hours on end, is being able to have snacks that may not need refrigerated on hand, right? Because maybe you're in between calls with customers and maybe you have 3 minutes. But if you have 3 minutes and you have a healthy snack sitting right there, that maybe you can scarf that down instead of spending that 3 minutes trying to run, like you said, grab something real quick and come back. That's one of the biggest things that I would recommend, is just to be able to plan with snacks that you bring with you, or maybe you can keep in your desk, different things. Like there's some healthier beef jerkies. Nuts are always a great option. Healthy nuts, they have good fat as well, which will help you keep you full a little bit longer as well. And then also those that are traveling, is if you can, is plan ahead. If you look to see where you're going to be traveling, where you're going to be staying, see if you can do a quick research of restaurants in the area. If there's a grocery store nearby, maybe you're able to run in right when you land. Maybe you can run over to the grocery store, pick up some of those healthier snacks. If you have a fridge in your hotel room, maybe you can stock up. That's one of the first things my wife and I do. If we're going to a city or an area, we'll scope out a grocery store. We'll buy couple big gallons, jugs of water, and then we'll buy, a couple different snacks, different fruits or vegetables, different things like that. Kind of stick them in the hotel.
Hmm.
Tends to be a little bit cheaper as well than sometimes
Yep.
eating what you have at the hotel or anything else. So that's kind of a 2 for 1. But the other real quick tip too is if you find yourself sitting a lot during work, is see if you could set an alarm on your phone. Every 30 minutes if you can, it dings or it flashes off, that you just stand up, stretch, walk around a little bit. Even if you have a headset on, you can still talk to a client or a customer. Super important, just continue to help with that blood flow, continue to get your muscles working, and keep those bones strong.
Yeah, yeah. Fantastic advice. Thank you very much for that. Now, with the current trends in the health and fitness industry, which ones do you think are worthwhile and have staying power that people should look into and see if it fits their lifestyle?
That's another great question, and that's something that we are always trying to look into as well to see, what can we do to further evolve and to help our members and help our audience even further. And one of the big kind of trends that we believe in is something that we've been researching a lot lately. As I talked about it already, is the anti-aging industry. Things that you can start to do proactively to help, potentially slow down the process of aging. And that's things that we're always looking into and trying to research more as well, whether it be different types of supplements, or it's different procedures, things that you can do. There's different spots, different things out there that you can look into as well, without getting into too much specifics. But that's something that we feel very strongly about within the health and wellness space. There's great workouts that are always coming out. Orange Theory, we think is one that will be around for a while for all the reasons that we already talked about. And I think continuing to eat healthy is another big thing. If you see more healthy type of chains pop up, it's something that it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, really, just overall
Hmm.
health and wellness. And but yeah, we think the anti-aging is one that's a relatively new industry. I think so many people don't even know where to begin with it, and so we really feel like that's something that's going to start to evolve in the next few years.
Yeah, yeah, that's really good. And with all of the science now being packed in, and I think just the overall community getting smarter and smarter and more technological, there are more and more advancements that continue to come. So where do you think the industry goes from here? What does health and fitness look like in the next 5, 10, 15 years?
I think that we'll still be very big into in-person type of studio facilities. And I think the small fitness boutique centers are very popular and one that will continue to grow because you get that personal connection with a group atmosphere, that healthy competition kind of all wrapped into one. And I think that's something that will continue to evolve. I have no idea what's going to happen with things of like 3D images and being able to work at home or work out at home with that same type of environment of things, projections and different things like that. Eventually, I think that may be a space long down the road. I really have no idea what that. So
Have a
that,
hologram in your living room?
yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yep.
You almost feel like with those virtual glasses now,
Yeah, right.
you can almost feel like you're actually there. So that may be something to look into as well. The only thing is I don't know how say it would be to try and pick up and move weights when you have those.
Yeah,
That
it
might
might be a risky venture.
yeah, you might be hitting something with your weights or something.
Right, right. Yeah, very cool. And so what does the future hold for you? Obviously, you've got some different interests. You've got the Orange Theory, the supplemental line, and growing family.
Yes.
So what's the future hold for Kellen?
I think we're just going to continue to evolve with what we're doing. Continue to try and become the best version of ourselves each and every single day. The focus is a little bit different now. We talked about raising our family. We have another one, a little girl coming in about 11 weeks.
Wow.
So very excited for that. That's part of life that you always anticipate will be something special. And then, we're blessed to have one daughter and having the second, and it's really life changing. So we want to be able to, kind of soak that all in, put our best foot forward with our family, as well as continue to grow professionally and still be within our industry. We're very, very passionate about what we do. So we plan to continue to be able to do so.
Yeah, yeah, very cool, very cool. So one thing that one great takeaway here is there's no quick fix, there's no easy fix. This is not a get rich quick overnight type of mentality where you can just take a pill and all of a sudden you're going to be healthier and leaner and faster and stronger. It's a process. The one thing that I forgot to bring up is you're in addition to the professional sports background and the family tree and you through the college athletics is you're a bit of a local celebrity because you competed on a nationally televised game show of somebody that's a little well known around here, LeBron James. So tell us about your stint to stardom there and the show that you were on.
Yeah. So the show was called $1 Million Mile, and that was an opportunity that Actually, I saw firsthand on LeBron James' Instagram account. He said that he was going to be co-producing the show. So I kind of just reached out to them and basically saying, what is it? And then after a long series of interviews and video conferences and actually flying out to Los Angeles, I was able to partake in the show on TV. It was an awesome experience. It was something that it was an obstacle course type of challenge that you try to complete as many obstacles as you can without being caught by a defender. And it was such a neat experience. Able to feel firsthand what it's like to be on a huge national production like that, and also being able to meet so many different people that come from so many different backgrounds, and just have a fun time while doing it. It's something that, looking back on, I realized it was a really cool opportunity, something that not everybody gets to experience. So I was
Yeah.
grateful for that.
Yeah. Very cool. So how did you do?
I did all right. I think it was something that, talking about internal competition, I always wish I could do a little bit better. But it's something that I felt like, for those circumstances and how I was in that particular moment, I feel like I gave it my all, I gave it what I could. I will say that one takeaway I learned was to kind of trust yourself and believe in yourself a little bit more. I think we tend to doubt ourselves a little bit. At the time, I felt like I was probably in better cardiovascular shape than I thought, and I had stopped running to work on swimming, because swimming was one part of the course that may be required. Ended up not swimming at all. But I couldn't swim at the time. I had like doggy paddle forever. So I started swimming like religiously. Multiple days or multiple times per day, I'd be going to the pool and swimming. And I stopped running. And looking back, I wish I would have probably just kept running, just doing what I was doing. But it was an awesome time.
What a cool experience. So how hard was it? Because you recorded the episode and you couldn't talk about the results or anything, I would imagine. So what was that kind of dark period like before the show aired nationally?
It's funny, because if I had done a little bit better than what I wanted to do, it probably would have been a little harder.
Mhm.
But since I didn't kind of perform, being the athlete that I am, to perform the way I wanted to, I try to almost put it behind me. The thing we always talked about, especially being a quarterback, was having a short-term memory.
Mhm.
If you do mess up sometimes in life, you got to learn from it, dissect it, and then kind of move on from it. But this was something that I wanted to tell people about, but at the same time, I wasn't able to. So once, when it was able to air, then I could kind of tell everybody, like, yeah, I did that. Check that out.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was fun, and it was something that, if I had the opportunity, I would absolutely do it again. I would love to do it again.
Yeah, very cool. That's awesome. All right, so this has been fantastic. I've learned so much about you, your background, certainly have a deeper appreciation about your passion for health and fitness and helping others achieve their goals. I think that that's a huge internal motivator for you. I see and feel it, every time that you're coaching the class that I'm in, and appreciate all the energy that you've provided me. So we're going to end with Fast Five.
Okay.
5 questions. You have no idea where they're coming from.
All right. Let's do
Just
it.
kind of right off the top of your mind, what answers come to you. So talked a lot about health and nutrition and meal planning and meal prep, but what is your go-to meal on a cheat day?
Oh, Chipotle, hands down. Burritos. I'll get a couple burritos, a little sour cream, some cheese on there as well.
And what's the protein then that you go with?
I usually will do, sometimes I do half chicken, half steak, or just straight chicken.
Okay, very good. So Chipotle. And I think you are in the category of many others that will dive to Chipotle every chance that they get, no question. So with being a coach of classes, and when the class is maximum capacity, how many people are you in there coaching at once?
Right now it's 24. It was previously, it was 36.
Okay, so you've coached up to 36 people at a time in a group session, and thousands of classes now you've taught over the years. What's the most epic fail that you've witnessed that you can talk about?
Oh man, stepping on a moving treadmill and falling.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I'm a little ashamed to say. I wish I was more of an athlete than that, but yeah, I've done that before. That's never fun. Yeah, it probably hurts ego more than it hurts your body, but it's not a fun time.
yeah, that pause button is a great gift, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just got to hit that pause button before you jump off there, no question. And so obviously you still work out very intensely. I know Tessa does as well.
Yeah.
So what, music is such a part of people's motivation and what they listen to. I know the tunes are cranking in the studio when we're in there. What's your personal playlist when you hit the gym and you got to get a great session in?
Oh, it's a combination of Drake. I like the artist Drake, and different types of high energy, fast beats per minute, type of music. I do like a little bit of rock, old school rock as well. Mostly though, it's got to be loud. I feel like
Yep.
as long as it's loud, it kind of helps you. But so that's what I usually go to.
Yeah, love it, love it. And so since you have, the quarterback legacy that you played the position at a very high level. Who's on your Mount Rushmore of NFL quarterbacks?
Oh man, Peyton Manning was one of my favorites always.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he was one of those guys that I feel like he never ceases to amaze you. What he's able to do, and just day in and day out. Aaron Rodgers is another guy who I always really respected for his physical abilities and his ability just to kind of help his team. And then obviously you kind of gotta talk about Tom Brady. Something that he's a guy that when I went to New England, I didn't want to admit how good he was. Because everybody I knew was like all Pats all day, every day, and I just didn't want to boost up their ego even more. But now he's also one of those guys that's really good. And then I just those are some of the guys that I kind of grew up watching.
Yep.
I grew up idolizing as well. So those are a few guys, and I like to throw Mike Pagel on there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And with Tom Brady, talk about nutrition and anti-aging and everything that he's done,
Yeah.
from a self-discipline to be in the league and play at the level that he has for the amount of years. And I know he is just incredibly disciplined throughout the season, on and off season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, him and Drew Brees too. I mean, you saw
Yeah.
a lot this past year is just talking about how they continue to play at such a high level for so many years, and to really almost look like they're not slowing down.
Hmm.
Tom Brady is one of those guys. It looks like he could continue playing for another 5, 6 years. Who even knows? But yeah, it goes to say what you do off the field is sometimes is just as, if not more important than what you're able to do on. And I think that just speaks so much about fitness and health and nutrition as well.
Yeah, I know another one was Phil Mickelson this year at the age of 50 won a major championship, the PGA championship, and he credited it to his diet and physical activity routine over the last 18 months to really get himself hyper focused on that. And now, he's the oldest major winner ever. And I think we're going to continue to see that trend as we go forward.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Then just like we talk about the anti-aging, it's just continue to work out and take care of yourself even as you age. And if we're able to implement some of these other newer type of things that evolve, I think, we might be able to see high performance lasting, beyond what you typically see in terms of years.
Yeah, very cool. All right, last question. Best memory of your athletic career?
Oh man. There's a couple of them. My very first collegiate snap was at the Big House. I was playing at Michigan.
Wow.
We were losing by just a few points at the time. But being able to take my first snap in front of 110,000, that was pretty awesome. That was something that I'll never forget.
That is really cool. That's a great memory.
Yeah.
So Kellen, thank you so much for your time today. I've learned a ton. Our audience is going to learn a lot. And we'll get some information not only on Orange Theory, but also Vitality Greens and the supplement line that you have, so people can check that out and check out your background and everything. So thank you so much for all the time today. I really appreciated it.
Thanks, Brian, for having me. And I loved it. I hope the viewers can enjoy it and learn some things as well. So thank you, Ryan.
All right. Thanks, Kellen. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Hey everybody, this is Michael from ADS. A big thank you to Kellen for spending time with us and dropping his knowledge on the fitness industry. I believe you can learn a lot about fitness from having these relaxed conversations with professionals such as Kellen. I encourage everyone listening who is curious about Orange Theory or have been finding trouble to start their own journey to give it a try. For all the latest episodes, you can find app on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and our website. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, everyone.